It might be the most vivid portrait of Mars we've ever seen, and it's stunning. NASA released this image of the red planet taken by the Hubble Space Telescope. It comes as Mars is about to make its closest approach to Earth in 11 years. While the heavens are drawing our planet closer to Mars, Lockheed Martin is taking steps to get humans circling our Martian neighbor within a dozen years.
In a recent online post, Popular Science spoke with the company about its plan to have a manned laboratory orbiting Mars by 2028. Popular Science senior editor Sophie Bushwick is joining us now with more. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So it'll be orbiting the planet.
That's right.
How exactly what will it do?
So the idea is this is called Mars Base Camp, and it'll be made up of the Orion crewed capsule, which will take astronauts into deep space. This is something that NASA has been working on for a while now, and they're planning to launch it without humans in it in 2018 and test it and put it through its paces. And then the idea is this would link up with a laboratory module and a habitat module, which would give astronauts more space to move around. And there would also be a second Orion capsule for backup and for traveling. And then the idea is that NASA would launch all of these components, including solar panels, on the SLS, the Space Launch System, which is their heavy rocket, and launch these components into space and assemble them in space, put them around the moon and assemble them around the moon. Then astronauts would take these all the way to Mars, which is a 6 to 9 month journey.
Wow. So why are they stressing an orbiting lab instead of landing directly on Mars?
Well, there's a lot of obstacles to landing directly on Mars. So if you followed when NASA landed the Curiosity rover on the planet, they had what they called 7 minutes of terror. Those are the 7 minutes it takes for this rover to enter the atmosphere and then to land on the ground. And it's a very complicated maneuver. There's lots of chances for things to go wrong. The contents of the landing capsule are subject to a lot of G-force. And so this is hard for a robot. It's even harder when you've got squishy humans in a ship in there. So you've got all these obstacles to landing humans that you don't have if you're just putting it into orbit.
We often hear about all these plans, but does the technology already exist, or is this a plan that will require them to also build technology to make this happen?
A lot of this technology does already exist. They don't have to invent any suspended animation. They don't have to use a warp drive. They can actually use the Orion capsules, which is already being developed, the Space Launch System, and Lockheed is already working on creating the laboratory module and the habitat modules that they'll need to be part of this system.
What are the biggest benefits of having them working in orbit doing this?
Well, right now we've got rovers on the surface of Mars, and people on Earth steer them. But the problem is Mars is a long way away. So it takes a signal 15 to 20 minutes to get from Mars to Earth. So if you're driving a rover and you hit a bump, you're not going to know about it for 15 minutes. If there's an interesting feature, you're going to be past it by the time it appears on your screen. So by putting scientists in orbit, you get rid of that lag time, and they can steer these rovers much better than someone on Earth. They could even be developing, flying drones to explore Mars's surface and have people on Mars Base Camp controlling those. It's even possible that they could take scoops and samples of soil from the Martian surface and send it up to Mars Base Camp to have humans test it.
Well, if I learn anything from the movie The Martian, they should send a botanist. A botanist is a good idea to send up there.
Probably a good idea.
Sophie, thank you so much.